Well, the initiative was inspired by the need to address bridging conservation and development. So UNESCO recognized the gap where heritage protection was often separated from local economic needs. So the inspiration was to create a cycle where conservation efforts directly generate sustainable livelihood, whereby communities are the strongest advocate for protecting their own heritage. And secondly, sites like the Namib Sea offer unique, higher value ecotourism potential that has not been fully leveraged for local benefit. And these three communities, which is Maltahöhe, Aus, and Utusep, are one of the beneficiaries. So the project focused on interpretation to enrich the visitor's experience and also create a market for locally produced goods and services.
And how does this project align with UNESCO's broader goals for sustainable development in Africa?
Well, the project is implemented using UNESCO Global Priority for the continent, because UNESCO has what we call UNESCO Priority Africa Strategy. But then it also aligns with the Africa Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, by positioning culture and natural heritage as a catalyst for social and economic transformation and a source of innovation. And in terms of the sustainable development goals, we are looking at, I think, around 4 sustainable development goals. The one that looks at decent work and economic growth, which is by promoting this sustainable heritage-based tourism, by looking at gender equality, by targeting women, like empowering women in terms of economic livelihood within the community. And then we have one that is called Sustainable Cities and communities, where we want to strengthen community capacity for conservation management of their heritage. And of course, since we are implementing this in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture, and the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, so it's also fostering or strengthening that cooperation between the government and local communities.
Helvi, talk to us on the key components or activities that UNESCO will implement under this project.
This project has two components. We have one for capacity building and training, where we are providing specialized training in ecotourism or guiding. So basically, in May we had we conducted a need assessment where we identify what are the needs for the community, but we also strengthen that today. We're talking to the community to say what are your needs, so that we can then train the community according to the needs that they really speaks to them. And then the second aspect is the seed funding. It's like we have a small grant. We are calling it a small grant, really, to help community members establish or expand heritage-related businesses, because as we know, some of these communities are gateway to the surface flay or first stream. So this is really, and we really just want to make sure that the communities are actually benefiting from this ecosystem of tourism in this area.
And what long-term socio-economic changes does UNESCO hope to see in Maltahöhe and also the surrounding communities and areas as a result of this initiative?
Well, we really want to see a diversified, resilient livelihood, we say. We want community to have multiple reliable sources of income beyond traditional employment, and just making them more resilient to economic shocks that usually happens. I mean, we've heard of when COVID-19 happened, I think some of the small communities really suffered according to, because of this. And also we want to increase the value of heritage, where cultural and natural heritage will be recognized locally, not just for attractive for tourism, but also as a tangible economic asset for for, just fostering intergenerational safeguarding for the heritage.
Yeah. And just finally, how does UNESCO plan to support women and youth in developing entrepreneurship skills related to ecotourism and the World Heritage interpretation?
So women are the main focus for this project, and we really want them to be the main beneficiaries for this. So today, when we are consulting the communities when it comes to their training needs, we are definitely looking at identifying what are the businesses that are owned by women, and then also the training needs the training will also include a lot of women, so that at least we can just be able to support the development of the community through women. And then also through seed funding, yes, we are going to provide this financial support for women, and of course we are also including youth, so that at least they'll be able to just whether to buy equipment or materials, for their businesses and all that. So yeah, so that's really the main focus.